Mortal Kombat 1 is still relatively new, with new players popping in every single day to get involved in the new generation of combat. Now, the question I get almost daily is that players are picking a new character and they just don't know what KAMEO to start with. And that is what today's video hopes to help you with. Now, with the nature of Mortal Kombat 1, every character genuinely has a bunch of different KAMEOs that do the job in different ways. Today's video only aims to help you at the very beginning to start you on your way for the experimentation to happen afterwards once you get more comfortable. With all that said and done, join me as we cover the entire roster, and I hope to give you one effective KAMEO for every single fighter that we go over. Starting off with Kitana, and this is a simple one, Sub-Zero KAMEO. It's naturally going to help you in a zoning war, if her many projectiles are something that attracts you as a player, but at the same time, being able to combo into a stun on command that starts up quickly, lasts a decent amount of time, and gives you an opportunity to either extend your combos beyond what you could normally do, or, if you want to experiment with the setups, thanks to her Wind Bomb, Sub-Zero KAMEO lets you do that as well. At a base, this KAMEO gives you a lot to offer if it's Kitana you're wanting to learn. Shang Tsung benefits greatly from the Kung Lao KAMEO. Being able to get meterless combos without having to rely on old Shang can be really useful if it's the spin you're looking for, but the most important move here is going to be the low hat. It's going to be a wonderful extra projectile for a character already specializing in the keep away game, but at the same time the charged low hat providing extra safety, setup, and hard to blockables if you're looking for a low hat into a jump in mix up. This character is good already, but with Lao KAMEO becomes even more devastating. If it's damage you're looking for, if you're playing Mileena, then Scorpion KAMEO is a wonderful addition to that. The upfire in particular can work in many different situations when Mileena has you launched and in the middle of a combo, but when you land her EX ball roll, going into the Scorpion upflames from that is a absolutely ridiculous way to extend your damage even further. Scorpion KAMEO offers quite a lot in general, but with Mileena and her damage output, Scorpion really does exaggerate what is already high damage. There's a few potential KAMEOs for General Shao, but if you're just starting out, I suggest that you can't go wrong with Sector. Being able to turn things into Flame Burner for the plus frames definitely helps you. Being able to use your range to convert a otherwise random teleport into a full combo thanks to the button distance that Shao has. But the main feature here will be the situation gained from up missile. General Shao has mix-up options up close, and if you can use this missile timed correctly to jail into these mix-ups, to extend block strings, or to armor break on wake-up, it just gives what General Shao already does quite well, a scary extra layer. This is an easy one. If you want to play Tanya and you're just starting out, I suggest you pick Goro. Goro is seen to be by many the most meta pick for this character right now, the reason for it being the up punch. This move allows Tanya to turn things that are otherwise unsafe into safety. She can combo off things that otherwise cannot be comboed from, most notably her standard meterless drill, and importantly, her armored reversal. There are other things you can do involving the overhead grab of things that would otherwise go low. How real that is remains to be seen, but if you're looking for safety, plus frames, and more combo opportunity on a character with already decent and oppressive range, Goro Tanya is a winning combination. The KAMEO you pick for Sindel will change depending on playstyle, but a popular one that I see in competitive quite often is Serena. Now, Serena for Sindel is genuinely a good combination. You get extra range, extra projectiles, a nice and reliable reversal in the up kick, but an important level here is damage. Sindel, if you don't quite have the execution to do all of the flight cancel stuff and the projectiles and all of that combined, you might not have the same damage that you see other Sindel players getting. The double knife assist is a nice little extra bit to add damage that you otherwise might struggle to obtain picking the character for the first time. Serena gives you nice fundamentals, extra damage, and really isn't that hard to pick up. When you're learning Rain, it's good to play a mixture of Scorpion or Sub-Zero, but if you're new to the character, I suggest starting with Sub-Zero. You have the ability to help your zoning game, as his slow projectiles do risk getting hit by other projectiles without the Sub-Zero armor, and if you're not quite ready to set up the bubble, this just makes life a lot easier. If you're trying to learn combos, the forward freeze of Sub-Zero allows you to learn the cheap stuff. the charged back forward one, the super kick. If you want to go for the whirlpool into a hard-to-blockable the opponent doesn't know how to get out of, this is the KAMEO that sets it up the easiest. If you want to time the forward freeze, you simply hold forward KAMEO before your air ground bounce is finished. No execution required. Reiko, like many, has different possibilities, but the one that is the most fun for me personally is Darius. You've probably seen it, but here it is again. Darius being able to turn a command grab into a full combo, easier said than done, sure, is ridiculously high damage and a satisfying payout if you time a grab correctly. How do you input this? You want to hold away as the command grab is landing, and then right as they start to sink, that is when you call Darius. It is a timing that needs to be perfected in training mode, but with practice makes perfect, and the damage here is absolutely insane. But I love it so much! Smoke takes a bit of effort to play, especially at a high level, but if you're learning Smoke, I suggest you try out the Kung Lao KAMEO. Kung Lao's low hat in this combination takes Smoke, who is already a mix-up machine, and adds the extra layer of mix-up to it. Instances where you can go overhead, you can call in the low and be safe or plus in some instances, ending certain combos in a charged low hat to introduce a hard-to-blockable scenario, being able to turn things meterlessly into the Kung Lao spin. Basically, Smoke, who is already a mix-up character, gains extra mix-ups when using this KAMEO together. It's a lot of fun, and I feel like it is incredibly scary too. You've probably seen Raiden and Cyrax, Raiden and Striker, and in this case, Raiden and Jax. If you're learning Raiden for the first time, Jax gives you an incredibly easy access to Half-Life combos, while at the same time, learning out the intricacies of timing Jax air grab to get big damage. If you learn Jax for the sake of playing Raiden, learning this will help you play Jax with other characters, while at the same time turning Raiden into a massive damage machine. I think it's a great combo for learning high damage in general, but having the ability to learn this for other characters is even better. Competitively, I see Cyrax and Scorpion more than any other combination, and that's mostly due to turning your mid into a safe button. But if you want to learn more of what Scorpion has to offer, Sector was the starting point that I had, and I still believe it's a good combination. You can use up missile for pressure, for safety, and in his case, turning things into higher damage for combos. At a higher level, the missile can lead into ground flame, into a grab setup, into a strike throw scenario, having the flame burner to interrupt a mash on your forward 3, or being able to have a meterless launch thanks to teleport. I think the entire kit being useful to Scorpion makes Sector Scorpion a really fun combination. Liu Kang is a hard one to choose when we're talking about what KAMEOs to pick, because he is so fundamentally sound that you can pair this character with almost any KAMEO and it will work. But if you want to give Liu Kang the cheap stuff and learn the character at the same time, genuinely, Kung Lao KAMEO does help. The low hat to aid in your keep away, as this character does have good projectiles, but it's more about the up-close game. Liu Kang has lots of plus frames anyway, and the low hat at the touch of a button up close adds to that significantly. He is one of the few instances where you can easily combo off of Liu Kang's throw, while at the same time keeping high damage, more meterless combo possibilities, and even more pressure than this character already had. I won't talk about Lao too much in this video, but for Liu Kang, it's genuinely a scary combination. Poor old Sub-Zero definitely isn't the same as his beta self, I can tell you that much. However, picking a different KAMEO for him is an interesting one. Sometimes the KAMEOs do give him extra utility, but he suffers the issue of damage, and that is a pretty consistent issue to have. One KAMEO that fixes that to a degree is Serena. Serena ability to go into the double knife toss without having to dedicate to a freeze until later in the combo prevents a significant amount of its scaling of which being one of the hardest issues that Sub-Zero has to deal with. Now, there are different KAMEOs you can try. I see Kung Lao quite a lot with Sub-Zero, but if you're playing this character for the first time, Serena gives you a little bit more of that damage back that Sub-Zero once lost. One of the absolute strongest teams in the entire game is Johnny Cage and Cyrax, and if you're learning Cage, I suggest you learn this combo because it is insanely strong. Being able to turn anything into a Cyrax helicopter, giving you the illusion that it is finally your turn to press a button, and Johnny Cage throws out this helicopter out of nowhere, really creates a nightmare scenario for a scary, scary rushdown character. The net from distance, a favourable projectile trade maybe, giving Johnny Cage not only a full combo for his troubles, but some free star power build-up if you want to go for it. This combination just works. At the highest level, it is by far one of the best combinations you can possibly pick right now. Right now, it feels like Reptile players are still in the process of searching for that one almost perfect cameo. I've seen Striker, I've seen Scorpion, but if you're learning this character for the first time, Sub-Zero is a great starting point. Why? Because on top of being able to compete with zoning with your own force balls, which are already strange projectiles compared to the rest of the cast, you can practice the ability to combo into freeze and become invisible before the combo has ended. This is where the highest level of Reptile seems to lie, using that invisibility, which takes a while to activate. Sub-Zero KAMEO seems to be one of the easier ways to actually go into it for whatever mix-ups you want to apply next. You want to learn Kung Lao, do you? You want to combo off your armored launcher, which by the way is safe? Well, Goro is a fantastic pairing for this character. I'll tell you why. The up punch lets you turn your armored reversal into a full combo launch. You can turn strings into your upwards dive kick into Goro and make it either safe or in some cases plus to continue your offense on the way down. Things that would otherwise not combo, such as a Kung Lao string that ends in a low, Goro can turn that into a launcher as well. This character is safety, mix-ups, plus frames, and with Goro, a ton of fun. The Li Mei discussion right now is that Scorpion's one of her best pairings, and I definitely agree with that statement. If you want to learn Li Mei, Scorpion KAMEO simply lets you take Li Mei as a base and gives you way more reward for damage. You're turning everything into much more damage than you had before, and you're also opening up combo potential for things that would otherwise end without it. Now from this point, you can learn other cameos if you want to reach that next layer with Li Mei, but if you're just starting out with this character, I highly suggest you figure out Scorpion at the same time. Ashrah is a character with so many combinations, it's hard to find just one. But due to her strong neutral, her really good range, and her damage output, I think that this one makes a lot of sense. Serena is a popular pairing, and I'll tell you why. You have the ability to gain extra projectiles for a character that already has weird projectiles on her own, but the speed of the double knives or the single knife definitely helps her. A reversal to add on top of her already unique reversal for Ashrah definitely helps her as well. And across the board, just being able to turn the double knives into a full combo at a much greater range than other characters can manage makes this pairing genuinely really cheap. Look, Cyrax and Kenshi is insanely good and really broken in my opinion, but if you're new to this character, I don't suggest picking Cyrax just yet. I suggest picking Sub-Zero instead. You could even pick Frost if you want to. However, in this case, the speed of the freeze and the duration of the freeze makes Sub-Zero KAMEO a really good pairing for this character. You can go into various different Sento stance conversions, you can set all kinds of different damage situations up, and even before you've landed a hit, having the armor to be immune to projectiles forces the opponent to play the neutral game against you, of which your forward 2 and your mids in general become a scary threat to deal with. The current community opinion of Nitara is that it ain't looking good. This character is a bit of a struggle character at the moment due to her bad range and her lack of HP. We are seeing many people pair Nitara with Serena, mostly to make up for the lack of range, importantly to give her a better reversal, as Nitara sadly has one of the weakest armored reversals, and importantly buffing up the health that she so lacks. Serena does across the board fill many issues that Nitara currently has competitively, and if you're looking for combos, conversions, maybe a bit more damage, and other utility that you so desperately need, it's not a bad starting point. It's Baraka in the current meta. Baraka and Cyrax is one of the best pairings in the entire game because you get safety, chip damage, plus frames, and unbelievable combo potential. As this game currently exists, this is a team that is worth picking up if you want to play Baraka. There are other KAMEO pairings to pick as well, but for this exact moment, I hate to add fuel to the fire, but Baraka and Cyrax, it works. And it works for a reason. A character that benefits from Cyrax that you might not have expected so much, though, is also Havik. Havik gains extra combo properties thanks to the helicopter spin. A full-screen net in conjunction with the rest of his projectiles is a really good combination as well. But being able to turn your armored launcher into being either safe plus, or if it hits on its own, a launcher by itself, and turning a roll into a full combo thanks to the vertical helicopter. I think there are many little reasons that Cyrax works so well with Havik, and if you're new to this character, pick up Cyrax. You'll have a great time. Geras may be the final character on this list. I will admit it was difficult to pick a cameo for him. If you've been watching any Forever King recently, you might notice there being a ton of Cyrax cameo with this character. And with Geras being such a setup machine that benefits from having meter on hand, Cyrax is a good pairing. The helicopter building lots of meter and doing lots of chip works well for this character. At the same time, he's one of the few characters that, like Kitana, can actually combo into net for increased setup and the ability to charge hourglasses. I will say that cameos are a bit riskier with Geras due to the fact that he already has low health, so if you want to pair a striker, which we've seen, a Kano, which we've seen, you are giving yourself less health. So if you want to play it safe and stick with Cyrax here, it's not a bad shout. Alternatively, for extra HP, I got to get the bonus in there. Serena is a popular pick for the increased health and added range. As we close out this video, I really want to emphasize that just because I didn't mention every single cameo, that doesn't mean that the cameos are terrible. I didn't really mention Striker, Shujinko, Kano, Sonya, Frost, Motaro. I mean, we do see these cameos get picked for various reasons, but for the sake of it being a beginner's entry to various different characters, I wanted to prioritize things that were a bit more simple and easier to understand. And some of those more popular cameos do genuinely provide that. The cameos I didn't mention, they might have more specific utility, they might also lower your overall health, which makes it not as convenient to pick up and play. Please keep that in mind, and again, to remind everyone, once you've got comfortable with the base character and a cameo that works for you, experiment, play the board, find out what works, and have fun with it. That's what a game like this is all about. Thank you all so much for watching. I am sure that some of you are going to disagree with some of these picks here, and look, a game with this much options, that's going to happen. Let me know in the comments section, and let me know what characters you'd like me to cover next. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Take care.